you for joining us once more on the Jennylyn Show, formerly known as Give It a Name with Jennylyn. Today I have a panel of young adults with me, and I can't wait for them to share their stories with you. I'm going to begin by introducing Jessica, who is on my immediate left, Gabriel, and Clarissa. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out on your Saturday to come here and share your stories. I know quite a bit about you, Gabrielle, because I heard your story, and I can't wait to hear Jessica and Clarissa share with us, their stories that will hopefully inspire and encourage other young people. So, Jessica, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. And Gabrielle and Clarissa, which one of you guys would like to begin?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll start with you then.
All right.
Just tell us your name and why you're here today, why I asked you to come here.
Yeah, my name is Gabriel Gaxiola. I'm here today because I shared at the NFL alumni, and I read an autobiography, and it was pretty touching. And I talked about some things that have happened to me throughout my life, where I came from, just a whole bunch of things that have happened to me. And I'm glad to be here right now. It's a good experience for me to be here. It's a good way to get deep down inside myself and see what happened to me and stuff. So it's a good experience.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait for you to tell us some more about that. Jessica?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm here today, I guess, to let everybody know my side of the story on what happened to me. And basically, I don't know.
Okay, and Clarissa?
Well, my name is Clarissa Lockett, and I'm here to share my story with all the young adults out here that's struggling to really succeed and get to the point A to point B in life and really have no motivation and really self-motivate yourself, really.
Okay, so Gabrielle, what's the name of the center where you are?
The facility I'm at currently is Our Common Ground. It's in Redwood City off of Woodside Road.
And how did you end up there?
I ended up there because before I was in facilities, I was messing up really bad. I wasn't going home. I was skipping school a lot. I got myself caught up in drugs and gangs and a whole bunch of things. And so I ended up in a group home because of that. And then from the group home, I just kept messing up a lot. And it's in San Francisco, where I'm from. I was messing up completely a lot, and I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff I shouldn't have done. I was getting suspended like on a weekly basis. So they kicked me out of there, and they put me in Our Common Ground. And I've been there for 11 and a half months, and I was just glad. I learned a lot through there. I had some falls, I had some struggles, but in the end I just picked myself up, and there's a lot of support there.
Woohoo! Good for you. I'm really happy to hear that. So we're going to continue with your story, but Jessica, do you want to tell us, you are with the Y, right?
I'm with, I graduated from YMCA in Bayview Hunters Point at the CARE program with Ethan Ramson. He helped me to get where I am today.
Okay, and so what caused you to end up there in the first place?
So I guess I was messing up. I messed up since 8th grade. I wasn't going to school. I was hanging out in the streets. I was going from city to city, traveling. I was doing bad things, drugs, alcohol, and just not going home, not listening to my parents, and that was my lifestyle.
Did something happen that led you there, or did you just get up one day and say, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm going to go get help?
I just, basically one day I just thought about it. I was like, my life is like going in the garbage, and I don't want it to be like that anymore. So I sought for help.
That's admirable that you did that on your
Yeah.
own. How about you, Clarissa?
Well, I graduated from the YMCA Bayview Center Point in San Francisco from the 5 Keys program with also with Easton Ramsey and Tungo Easton, the teacher. And it just helped me a lot. Like, it really motivated me personally to do do what I had to do to get out and get my diploma, because that's what I always wanted, was my high school diploma.
Okay, so did you or Jessica, were you guys ever involved with gangs?
No, not gang.
Okay.
No.
So Gabrielle, can you tell us how you got involved in the gangs in the first place? You're such a nice guy and you're so smart. How were they able to recruit you? Would you like to share with our viewers, what happened and how you wound up with them?
Well, it all started in middle school also. I wasn't going to school. I was smoking already at age 12. And I was just the area I lived in, Mission District, it just kind of sucked me in. I had family members in gangs. I had a whole bunch of that. I didn't get jumped in, but I was close to. I didn't choose to get jumped in because I always thought I was better than that. So I was messing around with gangs. I was hanging out with them. I got asked numerous times to get jumped in, but something always saved me, and I know who saved me.
Who?
God. I believe I'm very religious. That's how I came to the program, because it wasn't given to me. It was like my last chance. It was either that program or the ranch, and they're that close to sending me to a ranch, but they chose this program instead. But they would have chose a different choice, I probably wouldn't be the same.
Well, I'm really glad, and I'm happy I share your views on God. Clarissa, do you feel that young people, there are a lot of young people out there your ages who aren't as strong as you girls are, and Gabrielle, that can go out and seek help when you feel, because you can identify that your life is going in the wrong direction and change course? What would you like to say to young people in the community who aren't as in touch or strong enough to reach out for help? Who wants to answer that?
I'll answer it. I just feel like you just need just that one person that you could go and talk to and just tell them that you really need help with anything. That could be, it should be your parents that you could rely on, but most people don't have that. So it could be a best friend, a cousin, like a aunt or uncle, grandparent, anybody. Like, you just need that one person that you could really sit there and talk to and not feel that you're being judged while you're talking to them. That's the big.
Thank you. I'm looking at all of you, and you're pretty young. And I have never used drugs. I have no experience with it. But I read about it, and you have to educate yourself, because you're seeing every day in the news what happens to people who use it. Yeah. So it sounds to me like it's pretty expensive. How were you guys able to afford it? How did you get it?
Well, I guess for my part of the story, I used to hang out with a bunch of older kids, and we would go break into cars and steal what they had. We used to rob people on the buses. We used to just find stuff. I don't know. Like, it was really random. Every day was different. Every day was like a different excuse.
Yeah.
Some of my friends got arrested at that point, and half of us ran down the block and hid in the bushes until, everything was clear. It was a crazy lifestyle.
Clarissa? Thank you, Jessica.
I used to rob cars, breaking out the windows. I used to rob people, and I feel bad, like I do. Now that I look back at it, it wasn't worth it, and it's still not worth it. And I just learned from it all.
You, Gabriel.
I supplied my addiction by also going into cars. I robbed numerous people. I sold drugs to supply my addiction, but then it ended up just me using it all the time, and I just started using more and more. I even went low to steal from my family. That's how bad I was getting. I was steal from my family a lot, and I regret it, and hopefully I can make amends to all the people I robbed, or all my parents, how they felt how I was doing, and I'm just glad that I could go home in a month or so a changed man.
I am so proud of you kids. I really, really am, because it takes so much strength, apparently, when you have an addiction like that to turn your life around. And you're all so young that you still have a bright and beautiful future ahead, and you have great people like Eason and the people at the various centers mentoring and encouraging you. And so I just want you guys to know how proud I am of you. Because as I sit here and look at you, I would never for 1 second fathom that any of you would even know how to break into a car. Seriously.
It's
So
really complicated.
yeah, so I'm just sitting here looking at you thinking, I guess desperate times seek desperate measures, and so you do what you have to do, right? So I would like to ask, and any one of you in the group can answer this question, are you guys now trying to encourage people that you associated when you were in that lifestyle, trying to encourage them to come to where you are now and turn their lives around?
Yeah.
Is it advisable? Is it safe?
Yeah. Like currently, right now, I'm in the process of getting my best friend to go to City College with me next semester, and we're trying to open up our own automotive shop soon. So yeah.
Woohoo! That's great. And you, of course, you're baking, right?
Yeah.
And this is what you want to do?
That's my career choice. Yeah, I just recently found out that that's what I want to do because I love to do it. It makes me happy. It like basically relieves my stress when I do what I do.
And so, Gabriel, I heard your story when I went to the NFL alumni, and it was quite touching. And I know that you don't have the paper that you had in front of you, but could you just share with us what you can remember without having to read it?
Yeah,
And
sure.
you could start off with wherever you want to start.
All right, I was born in St. Luke's Hospital, right on Mission Street, and I was raised in the Mission District all my life, so I never got to get away from that. My first addiction was money, so I love making money. I remember a specific time where my mom bought me a whole pack of mechanical pencils, and I took them to school. And all the other kids didn't really have that. There were still wood pencils, so mechanical pencils were the new thing. So that was when I did my first sale. I sold all the pencils for about $2 each, and then I made that money. And then ever since then, I just love money. Like to other kids, like $5 would be like a lot, but that wasn't enough for me. I had to have 20 or 100. So that's where I started. And then when I was 12, I was at my cousin's apartment who lives upstairs from me. So I was there. I was only 12 years old. I was already acting up. I was on the wrong path. I was getting suspended. And my cousin's boyfriend offered marijuana to me. He's in a car accident previous to that. And so he got prescribed medical marijuana. And I just wanted to fit in. So I did it. And then once I did it, it was just becoming a regular thing to me.
Yeah.
It would just be day to day. And then once their marijuana started working, I had to get something else. So basically, I got myself in a lot of trouble. I was violating probation. I was just like not listening. My mom would cry to me daily to come home and to stop doing what I did, but I was too stubborn at the time. And now I feel her pain. I really do. So after I got out of middle school, I went to high school, and that's where it all got worse. I went to Lincoln. There's a whole bunch of friends of my brothers there, so I knew everyone. I skipped school. I just got my transcripts from the last 2 years. It was like straight F's. Like I never went to school. But now that I went to Our Common Ground in Redwood City, there's a school there. It's wonderful. The teachers actually help you. I have A's and B's.
Oh my gosh, that is
A's and B's.
awesome.
I got 3.8s in there and stuff, and it's just so good. So after I was skipping school a lot, I just stopped going like completely and started selling a lot of drugs. So I never got caught for that, but then I got caught for breaking into cars and a whole bunch of things. So I was sent from juvenile hall back home a couple times. So the one time that really did it for me was last June of 2010. I was at a school in my neighborhood. I didn't go there. It was summertime. And we're drinking, and I was like really under the influence really bad where I couldn't like handle myself anymore. So I had a knife on me. I forgot all about it, and I was on probation. So that's violating my probation right there, and I was drinking. So while I watched all my other friends go home after the cops pulled us over, I had to go to juvenile hall for 3 months. And then after that 3 months, I was in a group home for 3 months, and then I got kicked out of there. And then I finally made my way to Redwood City. And then I started off good there. For my first 3 months, I really wanted to do good, and then I slipped bad. I had an incident with cocaine with one of my friends, Jaquan and Anthony. I brought cocaine into a facility, and I brought a whole bunch of people down. And I made amends to them. Some of them are gone. They chose to have a different lifestyle. They left, and then there's some strong ones still there. And I just thank them for staying there, really, because I've been a bad influence to a lot of people. Someone just came into our facility that I knew from the outs, and I started his addiction. I gave him weed to smoke. I gave him drink to drink. And it's sad hearing what he'd been through, that basically I caused it. And just looking back of what I did, kind of like I was uncontrollable. No one could have stopped me. No one. If I was still out right now, I would be down in the dumps right now. I wouldn't know what to do. I don't know where I'll be at. I don't even know if I'll be alive, honestly. So I want to just thank Redwood City for taking me in, and I changed a lot. I really have. Now I'm capable for a job. I'm trying to get off probation. My motivation right now is to get out and go to school and actually stay at home, because I haven't been home in 17 months. I've been in and out of placements in juvenile hall, so I've been gone for quite a while. And I'm just trying to stay home and make my mom proud.
And you will. And you will. Just sitting here sharing your story is a step in the right direction, because it means you've identified what you've done wrong, and now you want to talk about it. And some people are very secretive about things, but I'm like you. I have to talk about it, because when I talk about it, it's part of how I heal. So I thank you for being so open and so honest.
Welcome.
What would you guys say to young people in the community on how to deal with peer pressure? When people give you these substances, what do you want to say to them? Anybody could answer.
You ain't got to be cool to fit in. You don't have to listen to what the next person's saying, because they'd say it's what everybody else is doing. Just because it's what everybody else is doing don't mean it's what you have to do. You have to be your own person and stand up for your own self. And that's what most kids are afraid to do. But don't be afraid to do it.
Thank you so much, Clarice. Jessica, would you say that you went down that road because of peer pressure?
It was more or less influence. I was influenced by, watching the older kids do it, and I did it on my own. Like, I made that choice to do it because, I wanted to fit in with them, so, it wasn't peer pressure. I never got peer pressured into doing anything that I didn't want to do.
So you did it of your own free will?
Yeah, I did it of my own free will.
Well, I know that you guys only represent certain schools because there's only 3 of you.
Yeah.
But would you say, based on what you know, that there are drugs in most of the schools in the Bay Area?
Yes,
Of course.
Of course.
What percentage of the schools would you your guesstimate?
I'd say all of them.
drug
I'd say,
problem?
all of them. There's at least 40% of students in each school that do something. Drink,
Really?
smoke, coke, pills, whatever you can think of, meth.
Really?
Yeah,
Drugs is
I
a
know
big
a lot
epidemic.
I know a lot of students that still go to school and they're messing up, and they don't care about it. They still do it, no matter what.
And so most kids are stealing to support the habit.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
Or some
I
hide
can't
it from
even
their
afford it.
parents.
Yeah.
Some actually hide it from their parents and get money from their parents.
Yeah.
Wow. So how would the school system, based on your students, or you were at some point if you're not now, how do you, from the perspective of a student, think the school should approach this problem?
Well, I think they should have just more people like us talking to them, because I was never influenced once. I never even heard of all these programs until I actually became one. So I think they should have more talks like this, help people, not like the talks that they have to try to scare them, tell them real life stuff. Because if I would have had a time machine and seen what I went through, I would have never made that decision, because it just led me to a life that I didn't want to be in. So I think they should have more people like us just talking to them and helping them out. Like, they need more support. It's basically like they're just like lecturing them. They're not actually like reaching out to them.
I'm so glad you're saying that, and this is why I'm doing this show, because I completely agree with you. I think there's some things in our lives and in our communities we can't be in denial about, because in doing so we're just hurting people. And I look at you, you're three beautiful people, three beautiful souls, and I'm so happy that you guys chose the right path and you're turning your life around. You've been in both arenas. Which one is the best place to be? There's no question, right?
Definitely this
So you hopefully have friends that are looking at how you turned your life around. And hopefully if there's some kids that were in gangs or these places where you were that weren't so good, and they see you now, hopefully this will encourage them to do what you did and go and get help. And so they don't have to be in a place where the police are actually having them in handcuffs and transporting them somewhere where they can be locked up, and that they would seek help before then. So I'm going to ask you, Clarice, do you want to share anything with our viewers or with us that you think other people should know that I haven't asked?
I just think everybody should know that the only person that could stop you from ever succeeding is yourself.
Brilliant! I love it. Completely agree. And what about you, Jessica?
I cannot come up with any words right now.
It's all right. And so, Gabrielle, I keep on wanting to call you Gabrielle because I have a girlfriend called Gabrielle. Do you, at the moment where you are, the center where you are, do you mentor to a lot of your young people? Because you're very brave and you seem in charge. And you know what you said about making money, I think it's a good thing. You just don't want to take it and spend it on causes that are not worthy of all the efforts you put into making it. Could you see yourself being a public speaker sometime in the future?
I can actually, like, that's what people said that my career should be, but always been about sports. I always have since I was little.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a good career, but it's not really one for me.
What isn't?
A public speaker, kind of.
Okay.
Like, I like kind of like just being active. I like running and a whole bunch of sports. I played sports throughout my life, so hopefully I get into a sports career, but that's a good backup one.
Well, the only reason I asked that question is you have such an inspiring story to share.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you were willing to come on my show and share it with me. How are things with you and your family now?
My family's like 100 times better now. Like, before, like, we didn't even talk. Like, my mom wouldn't even see me. I was either gone out the door, or gone out the window before she came. And I'll barely be at home. I didn't know what was up with my family. If they would have moved, I would have no idea they had moved because I was never there. So my family became much better. Like, I actually talk to my mom now. I could tell her that, hey, like, you remember that $20 in your purse? Yeah, I took it that time. I could actually open up to my mom now. Like, it's not no secret anymore. And I feel like I've grown up a lot through that program.
And you know, you guys at the time weren't making the best choices, but it didn't mean you were bad people.
Yeah.
There are things that happen in our life sometimes that are bigger than us. And it's good that you see now that was never going to, like you say, was never going to give you a good future or a rewarding future or made your life worthwhile. You know, you just would have kept on going down and down and down and down. So, Jessica, you said you robbed cars. I could never imagine you being a car robber. Did any of you guys ever get caught?
I personally didn't get caught, but the people I was around, yeah, they did get caught. They all went to juvenile hall for like a year and a half. And I'm the quiet type of person. When I'm hanging around new people or I find new people to hang around, you know, I can talk to one person, but through the rest of the group, I won't talk to any of them. Like, I'll just listen to them and I observe everything before I speak, and then boom, things happen. I'm the first one there. I'm the first one out. That's just how it goes.
So you were lucky nobody named you, because when we were kids, you got in trouble, man. Everybody was getting busted, whether they ran or not. You were telling.
Oh, that was the 50-50 chance. That was the main thing always on my mind, and that's why I kept my mouth shut. That's why I never said anything to anybody. I didn't really want anybody I didn't personally know or grew up around to know my story. what was my story? How did I react towards other people? I just let them find out for themselves.
Okay.
And from then on, like, I still keep in touch with some of those kids. I'm not gonna lie. Most of them are doing pretty good. Others are still going through their struggles.
But you don't have any desire to go down that road again?
Nah.
Great. And Clarice, are you in touch with any of those people from that time in your life?
Honestly, no. Like, no, I'm really not. Like, they don't know how to change. So if you can't change, then you're bound to fail. So I chose not to interact with them. So yeah.
Well, one of the reasons that I do my show is I want to provide a platform so people like you can inspire other kids, because I know what I see on television about gangs, which is as far as I know. They don't try to come after you when you leave, do they? They can't hurt you once you've left, can they?
It depends how deep you are in it. Like, sometimes it's, like, uncontrollable, where, like, once you're in, like, you're never out until you're dead. So
Are you serious?
That's how hard it gets.
Oh, my dear. Well, hopefully you were being protected and you weren't in that deep. But I just want, as usual, whenever we're having fun, our time runs out, our time is up. But the one thing I would like to leave with our viewers is that once there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And they can hear your story. And then I'd like you to repeat the names of your centers really quickly again. And the name of your center?
Our Common Ground, Redwood City.
And yours?
Baby Hunters Point YMCA, the care program.
So if any of you out there is needing help and there's no one for you to turn to, you've heard the names of these centers. Can I have a phone number for these centers? Does anybody know?
You could get one after.
Oh, it will be on my website. Please, if you're a young person out there, or any person out there who has a problem with any type of substance, or want to turn your life around because it's not serving you or anyone, please feel free and reach out to one of these places. A lot of us love you and care about you and want to help you in any way that we can. But we can't help if you don't reach out. Thank you guys so much. It's awfully brave of you to come and put your life out there like this. I mean, your life story. And I hope that one person, at least one person listening, will be able to help themselves through your story. Thank you for my crew and thank you for everyone. Bye-bye.